Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Phil's Monday Movie Review. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you're here, and also, Happy Halloween! Hey! It's my favorite time of the year, and before we get started on today's recommendation, I just want to take a quick minute to share my costume. It's a Halloween, so I figured why not dress up. This year, I'm dressing up as Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows, and Savannah, my darling, was dressing up as Nadja. Last night, we hung out with some friends, and here's some photos right here for you guys to enjoy. We're big fans of the show, and this year we said, why not? Let's do it. And I even grew my hair out for the occasion. So here we are. It's Halloween, and let's move on to today's recommendation, which, of course, it's Halloween, straight from 1978. I mean, you saw the thumbnail, and it just so happens to be Halloween, and I've never talked about this movie on this channel, so with all that being said, let's get started. I actually have to put my glasses on because there's a teleprompter that I have to read from the script that I wrote for this review. So now we can get started. Released in 1978 and directed by John Carpenter, Halloween tells the story of the fictional town known as Haddonfield, Illinois, where an escaped mental patient, Michael Myers, spends Halloween night on an absolute blood-crazy killing spree. The movie opens up with a cold Halloween night in 1963, where a then 6-year-old Michael Myers, armed with a kitchen knife and a clown mask, brutally murders his older sister, Judith. And for the next 15 years, Michael is held at the Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where he becomes the patient of Dr. Sam Loomis, played by the late, great Donald Pleasence. Then we fast forward to the year 1978 to a dark and stormy night. We follow Dr. Loomis and his nurse, Marion Chambers, as they are on their way to pick up Myers for a court date. And of course, Michael Myers finds a way to escape from Smith's Grove and drives off towards Haddonfield. Later, we are introduced to Laurie Strode, played iconically by Jamie Lee Curtis. Laurie is a sweet and dorky high school student by day and a sweet and dorky babysitter by night. Laurie, her friends, and the town's sheriff's department has no clue that there is a killer out in the loose making their way into their little town. But of course, Dr. Loomis makes his way into Haddonfield to prevent Michael Myers from slaughtering more innocent people. Actually, you know what? It's getting a little toasty in here, so I'm just gonna... Give me 1 minute. All right. It was getting a little toasty with that jacket already. But anyways, as the film progresses, we follow Michael Myers as he stalks his prey in Haddonfield. Laurie actually lays eyes on Michael Myers a few times throughout the stalking, as she notices that she's being followed. Michael Myers even stalks little old Tommy Doyle and Laurie's friends Annie and Linda. One by one, Michael Myers kills teenage girls and their boyfriends, and as Laurie investigates on what's going on, she is finally confronted by the Shape himself, Michael Myers. Laurie does the best she can in fighting off Michael Myers when she finally gets help from Dr. Loomis, as Loomis fires 6 shots right at Michael Myers. But as Dr. Loomis goes to confirm the kill, Michael Myers is nowhere to be found, becoming the true boogeyman. The end. Ding 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 ding. However, it is not exactly the end, because this film spawned 12 more films. That's including the latest one, Halloween Ends. But we're not here to talk about the sequels. Let's discuss on the original 1978 classic. Look, Halloween is not just my favorite horror film, but it's actually one of my favorite films ever. It might be somewhere in my top 10. I'm actually a big fan of the entire franchise. I'm well aware that there are some stinkers in the Halloween franchise, but I can't help but love all that slasher fun I get out of these films. I think John Carpenter crafted a beautiful looking film in 1978's Halloween. I mean, just look at this lighting and some of these night shots. The cast is absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about the star of the film, Michael Myers himself. Played by Nick Castle, Myers is portrayed as an emotionless killing machine. His movement is very swift, but stiff at the same time. He doesn't run, but walks. And when he walks, he doesn't move his arms or shoulders. He remains calm, but with an aggressively killer mentality. Donald Pleasance is an absolute gem in this film. Before Dr. Loomis goes full wacky in the Halloween sequels, this Dr. Loomis is more focus-driven in protecting the town of Haddonfield from his patient. He's more calm, but heavily determined in finding Michael Myers. There's even one scene where he's even having a little bit of fun with some of the kids in Haddonfield. Alright, so let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis. There is a reason why Jamie Lee Curtis is known as the Scream Queen or the Final Girl. She's great in this film. Her innocence and vulnerability puts us right there with Laurie as she's getting chased by Michael Myers. Guys, Halloween rules for so many reasons. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill truly created something wonderful in this 1978 classic that inspired so many horror films for many more generations to come. This movie is over 40 years old, and I highly regard it as a timeless classic. The tone of this film is meticulously crafted as stylistic, but remains heavily independent. It stood its ground as something new and fresh for the time it came out. Halloween is a well-paced and visually rich thrill ride. The music, oh my gosh, the music. We haven't even had a chance to talk about the music yet. I think I can speak for many of us that whenever we hear that Halloween theme, you know which one, I think we know that that theme, created by John Carpenter, is one of the most memorable pieces of music in all cinema. Halloween is undeniably the most quintessential horror film to enjoy, especially on Halloween. To me, this is the gold standard for not just a slasher flick, but an overall well-crafted film. With all that being said, Halloween is, of course, without a shadow of a doubt, horror cinema. But that is it, guys. We did it. We went through October discussing horror films for Phil's Monday Horror Movie Review, but there's still plenty of more horror films I want to talk about on this channel, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. It doesn't need to be October to enjoy horror films. Wink, wink. And with all that being said, I want to thank you for tuning in to this Monday movie review. And if you've seen 1978's Halloween, let's talk about it. And be sure to tune in next week where we talk about another movie. But until then, thanks for stopping by. Take care. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.